Welcome to the latest episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host Kevin, and this week we'll be discussing the 1986 action thriller FX, starring Bryan Brown and Brian Dennehy. If you are joining us for the first time, this is like a book club where we discuss forgotten classics, guilty pleasures of the past. I'll post it on our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club. You can also follow us and subscribe on YouTube at KD9575, and please contact me on Twitter at KD9575. Send me any of your favorite quotes, favorite scenes, movie suggestions. If you just want to get some stuff off your chest, if you want to go to confession, whatever, I'm here for you. And don't forget to spread the word. Tell a friend. Tell a stranger. FX. For those of you guys who don't know, FX is movie industry lingo for like special effects. See, there you go. In this movie, Bryan Brown plays Raleigh Tyler, who's a world famous special effects maker for like horror movies, action movies. He's approached by these government agents who want him to help them basically fake a murder. They have a mobster who's going to turn state's evidence, but they want to fake his death because I guess there's a hit out on him. So he reluctantly agrees to do it. But afterwards, government agents turn on him, and they're trying to kill him because no loose ends. And now he's not so sure that he faked the murder, because basically he got the mobster and put him with like fake bullet wounds and fake. They're called squibs in the movies when they pretend to shoot him. Like there's a little explosion. To kind of replicate what it would look like if you actually shot somebody. So he goes into the restaurant to fake the murder with the gun and shoots the guy. And now he's not so sure that his gun had blanks. Did he really fake it? Did he do it on purpose? Meanwhile, these agents are out to kill him now. There's a lot going on. There's a double cross. Are the government agents really in with the mobster? There's a whole lot going on. Meanwhile, you have Brian Dennehy, who plays Leo McCarthy, kind of a disgruntled police officer, who stumbles upon the case, and he's trying to find out what's going on. He's the one who originally arrested the mobster way back when. He's kind of irritated that the Justice Department is going to give him, free ride. Just, testify and we'll set you up somewhere in a new life. So he doesn't like that too much. So he's getting involved. I don't want to give it all away, because you have the Justice Department, killers chasing Raleigh. He's using his special effects expertise to defend himself. But things work out. They work out so well, a few years later they made a sequel, FX2. Creatively named, I know. And they actually made a TV series in the 90s where none of the original actors are back. They hired different people. But it's Raleigh and Leo working together. Leo's, I guess, still a police officer. He's solving crimes. And Raleigh uses his special effects to help solve the crimes. I don't know. What can I tell you? Bryan Brown, who plays Raleigh Tyler, you might remember him from Cocktail. He played the older bartender guy who takes young Tom Cruise under his wing. My mom would remember him because he was also in Thornbirds. He's an Australian actor. If you saw him, you'd recognize him. Like I said, Brian Dennehy plays Leo McCarthy. You remember him. He was Tommy Boy's father in that movie. He's been in a million things. You've seen him. I was laughing because the mobster in this movie, the character's name is Nicholas DeFranco, is played by Jerry Orbach, who you might remember as the father from Dirty Dancing, and, because I have children I know this, he was also the voice of the candle Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast. I don't know, he has a lot of range. Let's just say that, okay? I was laughing because I immediately recognized the guy who plays the angry black captain of the police. He was, I don't know what his real name is, but he played Gordon on Sesame Street. What can I tell you? Talk about, now that's real range, okay? So you got kids in this movie. Kids can appreciate this movie for different reasons than the parents will enjoy it. I was laughing because in Raleigh's apartment they had all these movie posters up. They have like zombie, and allegedly he was the special effects guy who worked on all these movies. And they mentioned a couple of movies, and I'm like, are these even real movies? I had to go look them up, and they are real movies. So, I mean, how do we know that he really wasn't the special effects guy? Movies such as the classic Fade to Black, I'm sure you remember it, and the immortal classic from 1972, I Dismember Mama. So there you go. I'm sure, these are movies even too deep for me. You know what I'm saying? So don't go requesting I Dismember Mama on Facebook, okay? I'm going to take a pass on that one. But what's interesting is the script was written, and Orion Pictures, they went and tried to go in a different direction. They actually hired a Broadway director to direct this movie because they thought he would give it kind of a mood, a different quality than the typical action films. And this guy, being a Broadway director, hadn't really directed action films before, and he researched it by watching movies like Bullitt with Steve McQueen. They also took experiences from the guy that they hired to do their special effects, because evidently he said that in the past he had the government come talk to him and get advice on how to do things. Maybe not exactly like in the script, hopefully, but similar things. So there you go. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's kind of off the beaten path. In fact, I didn't even know about it when it came out in '86. When the sequel popped up in like 91 or 90 or whatever it was, that was the first time I'd even heard of it. It was like FX2, The Deadly Art of Illusion, or something like that. And I enjoyed that so much, I went back and watched the first one. So, it's good. There's a lot of drama, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'll tell you what, no one can get their butt kicked like Brian Brown in this movie. Because you figure he's just a special effects guy. He shouldn't have any special fighting. Of course, if they made the movie today, you know, he'd be a master of kung fu and jiu-jitsu and all other sorts of things for no reason. So, they have that going for him. He was more of that Bruce Willis quality. Remember those movies? I'm sure you've forgotten. Like Die Hard. Like, in those movies, Bruce Willis would get so beat up, which at the time you didn't see much. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was basically bulletproof in his movies. So, I appreciate a leading guy who can get his butt kicked on occasion. That's all I'm saying. Robert Ebert, when this movie came out, gave it big thumbs up. He said it combined you know, the action with the pathos. I don't know if you use the word pathos. That might just be me. It added a lot of the good qualities that we like from movies. So that's always important. It currently holds an 85% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. If you have not seen it, which is entirely likely, I highly recommend checking it out. It is streaming instantly on Netflix. For how long, I cannot answer that. So check it out. It's like only an hour and 38 minutes, something like that. So, you know, go run on the treadmill for an hour and 30 minutes and check it out. Be sure to let me know what you thought. I'd love to get all of your the ins and outs, all your opinions on it. So check it out. Let me know what you're thinking. Next week, I'm going back to the horror genre for the the most triumphant sequel, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Spoiler alert, really not The Final Friday. This is from the same movie series where after number 4, they called it The Final Chapter, and then a year later they made another one. So there you go. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. It is streaming instantly on Netflix, so check it out. Send me your favorite scenes, any questions, comments, favorite quotes. Again, you can subscribe on YouTube. You can like the page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club, and you can always reach me on Twitter. As you know, I end every episode with a totally out of context quote, and here it is. They're going to kill you, and if they don't, I will. So there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, Jason Goes to Hell. Have a good weekend and be well.